Right, we're back. The third down polls. I feel like I'm outside of there now, so I'm like lost out of my comfort zone. But we have with us CLA, which to me is like the dream of the hobby. You too. And I think I've said it to you before. Like father son going around buying and selling. It does feel like it's a real wholesome thing. So if you'd like to introduce yourself, do you want to put Charlie on the spot first?
Well, let's put Charlie on the spot.
Yeah, go on, Charlie. Tell us all about yourself.
I'm Charlie. I would say, the CEO of CLA Cards. And this is...
She's Dia. I'm admin, cleaner, finance director, everything else apart from the CEO.
I'd love to have your business card next time. So how did you guys start? Where did the idea come from?
So, where it started was me getting my first job.
What was it?
As a paper boy. Making £25 a week, doing every single day apart from Saturday.
Yeah.
Waking up six in the morning till 7:30, then having to go to school. And just built up a bankroll.
Yeah.
And then just went on YouTube, watched Card Collector 2 video, couple others, great influencers, and then found eBay, found whatnot, bought a couple cards here or there, then saw a London card show video and said to Dad, can we go? When we're free.
That's it. Were you collecting while you were doing your paper on then, or were you watching?
I was buying a couple of small patches cards on eBay, mostly small £2-3 cards. Obviously, I've had a background of buying match attacks, as every kid has in the UK. But yeah, it just like I wasn't spending my paper round money on anything like I enjoyed, and I wanted to do that.
Yeah.
So I found that in cards.
Yeah. And then seeing the videos, I thought you can make a bit more of it and then go from there.
Yeah.
Did you enter the shows thinking you can make something of this, or was it just a matter of?
I think it was just getting some nice cards just to have and look at.
Yeah. At what point did it turn into more than a hobby? So where you come in?
I think what was, for me, what was really interesting, Charlie clearly loved cards and got massively into NFL as well at the same time, playing Madden actually on PlayStation. So that was his introduction into American football. We started going to a few shows, Sports Plus
Social.
And he was clearly, I was taking him there. Clearly he was enjoying it. I honestly didn't have a clue at that time. But I got the feeling that he really started to pick up the right cards to buy.
Yeah.
Clearly had an eye for buying cards that he liked. And then I think what happened was, I think he ran out of money to buy a card. And I said, oh, well, look, I'll give you 20 quid if you want to buy that card.
Off Charlie, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was off Charlie Aces, actually. And he bought this card, and we then transpired that it was worth a bit more than it was. And I think he just went from there. He started buying cards and then trading them all at
just at card shows.
Yeah. Just else online or anything like that.
A little bit on whatnot here or there. Yeah. When I found the right deal.
No. And I think it got to the point where he was. I could clearly see he had a knack of buying cards that were nice. Stuff which was PC stuff as well.
Yeah.
But it just went from there really. Nothing specific. And then I think we picked up a really nice, and I know that we've jumped from a £20 card. We picked up a really nice Joe Montana Black Pandora
PSA 10 downtown. Before the downtown market had properly skyrocketed.
Yeah. And traded a lot of cards into it and got a great deal. And it was like one of those things where we had £50 cards and this £800 card at the time. And I think that was the trigger of...
That was the start.
Why don't we get a table and vend?
Yeah.
That was probably about, 12 months? 18 months between
Yeah.
two? Yeah, about 12 months.
12 months.
From going to card shows, collecting to
Vending.
Yeah.
first table.
That's pretty quick sort of growth then, from sort of first time vending in person or doing your deals in person to...
Well, I think it's mostly because of the kindness of people at card shows and how genuine they are. They will have a good conversation with you while giving you a fair deal where they profit and you will profit on.
Yeah, I can't remember the London card shows ago, but you look so small. I think we're taking a picture somewhere to dig out. You look so small compared to now. And seeing you wheel a deal and then, and I think it is that sort of, it's what you want as, like, if I look back to being a teenager, that's what I'd be wanting to do. And to see someone to have the confidence and doing NFL in the UK is quite a niche to do it in. If you look around, there's not many people doing just NFL cards to the success that you're doing it, without breaking, without doing it different ways. I think that's a testament to you as well by how much you're putting into it. And we speak every time you're at a show and there's always something new. You're always saying you try to progress that thing. And I think that it's really cool to see, especially as an NFL fan.
No, so thank you. Yeah, I think we put a lot of. I think the other key thing you said, it's happened quickly. I think a lot of people don't recognise the amount you got to put in, and I think you get a few people that you see for one or two shows, and they would come into that scene, and it's primarily to make money. Yeah. And you see them for a couple of shows, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
Because I think they start to realise it's more than just the deal. You've got to put a lot of effort in background, whether or not you're sourcing online, whether or not you're engaging with people. But it's a nice thing that you said around every show, we always want to do something.
Yeah.
It's something new.
Move it forward.
Yeah. I mean, it obviously shows it's working. It's by the progression you're having and things like that. The table now compared to, I think, even 12 months ago is staggering to see what you get. Every time you walk past, it's look at this. And it's never something small. And there's a lot of cool patches, things like that. And I think when it comes to a hobby like this and the growth, it's a lifestyle. I don't know if you like one of the last things you check when you go to bed is the last lot of your deals. First thing when you get up, have I won anything? And I think it's easy to do that for a few months. It's harder to do it for 6, 12, 18 months where you've got to put your growth in.
Yeah.
And especially when the shows stack up, you've got to have that inventory cycling through, because you can't go to the same show with the
Same stuff.
3 different shows, the same things in 3 weeks. So how is it working together then? It must be an interesting dynamic. There's a lot of miles, a lot of driving.
And I'm very thankful for him to drive me, because without that, I would not be able to go to the shows.
I think it's an interesting dynamic. Yeah, I think it's an interesting dynamic. I think he's going to say the same thing as me. Openly doing what we do, being in the car as much as we are, and getting to shows and working together is probably the best thing about it.
Yeah,
is doing it together. He is absolutely, I think, that the person who knows more about the hobby than I am. I'm the person who does a lot of the background stuff. We were joking. I mean, he said to me yesterday evening, "Oh, we've run out of mags." I said, I could see we were going to run out of mags 2 days ago, but I didn't do anything to see whether or not he'd say. But he'd run out of mags and then said, "We've run out of mags." So that's the type of thing that we get.
Yeah.
We have. But I think it's. I always say that he's the boss, and he is absolutely the boss, and that's the way that it needs to be. But there's times when I sort of say, actually, I'm not quite sure that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Just sort of pull it back a little bit. Is
And
that
like,
fair?
if I'm struggling at a show with some sort of thing, I always go to you.
Yeah. But I think the other thing as well, and I'm gonna shout out to Charlie Aces as well, because he was a really important part of what happened with with us in the hobby. Where, and it's still today, not only every show that we want to do something new.
Yep.
Every show that we do, I want to take one step back.
Yeah.
And Charlie's doing more and more.
Yeah.
And I think that's an important part. We're always having those discussions with Charlie at the early days where trying to get a little bit of advice of how to do that.
Yeah.
But it's a growth opportunity, I think, for him as an individual.
Yes, completely agree.
Yeah. Do you have an end goal to this? I know we speak about it a few times at shows again. Do you have now he's getting to this sort of scale, do you have an idea, or is it just see where it ends up?
I would say my end goal is obviously see how it goes.
Yeah.
But I would say to become a figure in the hobby that can be trusted, wanted, and just be a good person in general to anyone new, anyone old in the hobby. Just give a deal when possible.
Yeah. How old are you again?
I am 17, turning 18.
Gee, it's only about 45, but that was like up there, wasn't it? It's really cool to see. Is that because of your experience in it, or is that from?
I think just the way I've been brought up, to be honest.
Yeah.
From this man. And obviously, I would say he works with lots of customers at work, and you can see him bringing that into what we do at a show.
Yeah.
And then I bring that understanding of the hobby. So combined, I teach him how to treat people, because he already knows how to treat people well.
Yeah.
It's how to treat people well in the hobby.
Yeah.
I teach him that, and then he just teach me in life how to.
I think it is one thing you see across like the hobby, no matter whether it's Pokemon sports. There's a real lack of, I don't mean this disrespectfully, but like a lack of business knowledge. And I think so many people start up, you see they're really good, they've got everything to do well, but then they start becoming a proper business and everything. And that's where you sort of see them taking a step back or they disappear and stuff like that. So I think to have someone like that behind you is exactly what you need. And I think it's spot on me. It's what we need in the hobby to keep it growing, to keep it churning over. Is you need that, not just good people, but people that know how to run a business. So it can go hand in hand.
Yeah, I agree. I think the thing for me is that we get together because of cardboard.
Yeah.
But actually, we find that we get together now more because of the community and talking about sports and then talking about cardboard as well. And I think that's a really important part for, if I was to, what I've learned is the cards are one thing and the deals are one thing, but actually it's the people that make the hobby.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, what we always try and do. That's why we really like the in-person shows.
Yeah.
I don't think,
You can't. Nothing can be matched to doing an in-person deal with someone. Like we find doing online deals almost tricky.
Yeah.
Because you just don't know what tones coming across. You don't know.
You can misread a text message quite easy, can't you? And that's it. Do you do much selling online at all, or is it just purely buying?
We're trying to grow our online selling presence, but not a ton.
Yeah.
We're a little bit on eBay here or there, a little bit on Facebook here or there, but try and have that excitement for at the show.
Yeah.
So try and not show as many cards online, because when someone comes to a show, they're excited to see what new stock we have. What they might have not seen it last show, they might have missed it. So that the next time they come to a show, they see it.
That's a really cool approach, I think. You usually see people so quick to post it online that I think that's a really unique way of looking at it.
Because you want to show you that you have good stock, but also show that you...
Yeah. So you build that suspense, you sort of... And I suppose with the NFL community being quite small compared to others, you know exactly what's going to excite people. If that makes sense, you can... Once you get it in there, you know sort of your audience and who you're buying and who you're selling to as well. So you sort of... You know people love patches or things like that, so you can pull them in quite easy with that.
Yeah, we definitely hold cards back for shows.
Yeah,
there's times where we might tease something online, but we will always hold back cards because we may know that there are certain buyers. I think, and that's the thing that I would say. The type of selling we do online is to people that we know. and we know we might have picked up a card with, we picked this card up, but there's probably 2 or 3 people that we know they might want that card. And there's been times where we've bought a card and we hope that somebody turns up to the show, and then we can sort of sell that card to them. Yeah. And sometimes it might be a matter of hours, or we bought that card, we think, actually, if so-and-so turns up, they're going to want that 1-of-1 Heinz Ward card.
Is there anything in particular when you're buying a card? Is there any card you keep away from? Is there anything that sort of you look to buy especially?
That's probably a question for me, isn't it? So there's 3 key factors for me when I look at buying a card. There's the player, there's the set, and then is it numbered, is it patch, is it auto?
Is it in that order? Is that your sort of...
I would say so. Play is the first thing you have to look at.
Yeah.
So like, let's say a JJ McCarthy comes to our booth. It's probably going to be an instant pass. Yeah. No offense to JJ McCarthy.
I'm all the Callum trend, so Callum will be all the way this year.
But it's an instant pass. But let's say it's a Jackson Dart comes to the table. You look, it's Jackson Dart, tick. Let's say it's from Select, tick. But then maybe it's a base from Select, cross. But then maybe it's a numbered card and then tick.
Yeah.
So I think I've got to the point of the amount of cards that have came through my hands, but sometimes just I can just flick through them so quickly, and I can just tell when a card's gonna be good or bad.
And that's just from learning.
And what's even scarier, sorry for interrupting, what's even scarier is when you're watching someone open a pack online and you just see a small bit of the helmet and you instantly know what card that's going to be, or like what player it is.
Yeah.
Just from the positioning.
Just experience, learning, just going through it.
Just with time.
Yeah. And you have to get ticks in all 3 areas for it to be worthwhile.
I would say it depends on the deal. Yeah. Let's say they have a downtown of maybe Trey Lance, but then they also have a Josh Allen auto of a bad set.
Yeah.
I'd probably buy both those cards because I know downtowns are so liquid, but Trey Lance isn't as good. And I'm not going to say a bad set, but a Josh Allen from a bad set auto is still, he doesn't sign that much. It's still a rare collectible item.
Yeah. On that, worst purchase. You've got 1 card there that haunts you.
It's still haunting me. That's the problem, because I still own it.
Yeah.
I think I passed on bringing it today. It's very recent as well. It was 2 MKs ago.
Yeah.
I traded into a Tyler Shook Lotus Flower before any sales had come up. And Prism Choice was new and it was a bit iffy.
Yeah.
And for some reason I didn't listen to the veterans' advice and I took a shot on it. I'm not going to go into the figures, but it's half of what I paid for it now, and I've still got it.
I think that's for me, that's a really interesting one as well in terms of types of cards. Openly, I am way more conservative than he is. Yeah, he is always the one who's wanting to buy cards,
get a
deal done. Certainly on the bringing stuff in, I'm always the one who will be just maybe, being a little bit cautious. Yeah. And there's pros and cons to that.
If you look at the Barry Sanders dual auto we just bought.
Yeah, on the flip side, he's just done a great deal on the cards as well. So I think it really is, it depends. But I think one thing I think is worthwhile saying is I'm probably a little bit too conservative.
Yeah.
And I think there's times where we could probably push the boat out a little bit more as well. But I think on the whole we do, I think important point. I think we both do this as well. We've talked about those different criteria that he's talked about. From my perspective, I always buy a card that I like the look of. Yeah, as well. So it's not just, yes, the players are important as well. But if we got I picked up a John Gruden card
Yeah, John Gruden.
John Gruden card, which was autographed on like a mini helmet. It's like a £40 card. It looks $1 million.
Yeah.
They've printed loads of them, but it looks $1 million. For me, that's what the hobby's about. Those types of cards stand out. We may never sell that card.
We may never. I remember buying it, and I remember when we bought that card at MK, and about 5 people asked about it, and we were interested, and it's just a conversation starter. Those are unique cards to start conversations, whether it's a patch, whether it's an auto.
I think as you go through the hobby as well and you refine your collection and you see, as you grow and the bigger cards pass through your hands, I think it almost normalizes it a little bit. So I think then the different things like that then stand out a lot more. So when you see something different that catches your eye and it's not the run of the mill, I think that just goes through the hobby the whole way through, really.
I agree. We had a couple of guys at Yorkshire actually. They walked up to our table and we just started talking NFL with them. And they said, oh, we're interested in sort of unusual cards. Yeah. And they were there for an hour and a half. And we picked out stuff from our box, which wasn't out because not so many people might like that. So we put no there. And I think they bought 5-6 cards of us in the end at a reasonable, value. But I think that's what always works for us, is that it's not just the big ticket cards, it's the cards that other people can relate to as well.
Yeah. And enjoy
it. Yeah, especially when you look like you're a massive NFL fan. When you're in that lane of that, there's nothing better than talking what you love with people and I think if that comes across, especially when it shows, you can go out to your mates and none of them will like cardboard, none of them will like NFL. It's like, what are you doing Sunday? I'm going to go to a card show, and they're like, yeah. So I think it's cool to have that like you say, when you're at shows, you've got that relationship and that side of it. So looking forward, I think it's easily the biggest show you've ever done.
Easily.
A couple of weeks.
Absolutely. We are.
It's a bit scary.
Yeah. We're really looking forward to getting to the National.
Yeah. I don't think it doesn't get any bigger, especially as an American sports vendor.
Definitely doesn't.
How would you prep work for it? Have you changed anything?
We've definitely changed, but I think we've tried to stick to our same mindset, but just tweaked things.
Yeah.
I mean, it's America. We had a week over there last year where we went to Fanatics Fest and Chantilly, and that opened our mind up a little bit. I opened our eyes up in terms of the type of things that the US market likes.
Yeah.
I think we were pretty successful when we went out there and picked up some really nice stuff to bring back to the UK as well, which is always for us an important thing. That actually, we're going over there and hopefully be a positive week for us in terms of buying, selling, and trading. But we always want to bring stuff back to the UK. Yeah. And have cards in the UK, which is really important.
Yeah.
Especially unusual things.
Yeah.
Which you
don't see. But I think what we've realised is the UK, and we'll always do this moving forward, full stop. We will always have something for everybody at our table. Now, we've said that. We'll have everything from £1 bargain flip-throughs all the way up to whatever the UK hobby gets to in the end. At the moment, we sort of sit at about £2,500-3,000 worth of top end. There's very few buyers in the UK who'll pick up that type of top end NFL card. Yeah. But what we have done for National is definitely prioritise, more than £100, more than a couple of £100 cards. The sweet spot for us in the UK is anything from £20 to a couple of £100. Yeah. People will come to our table and buy those cards quite happily. Anything more than that is always a bit of a, more niche market. But definitely been looking at higher end stuff.
Case hits, things like that.
Yeah.
It's like liquid gold in America.
Yeah. Have you bought anything you've got your own, you think I might not take that one and put it back in your pocket?
I think it might be time to take some cards out from there.
Go for it.
So these are 3 cards. of the same player from the same set and from 2004, and they're all rookie cards. These are 3 Eli Manning rookie gold pristine rookies, but they're all gold, but they're all 3 of them are different numbered to different serial numbers.
Jeez, God, look.
You showing this Chris yet?
You might have seen them. And you don't want to know how rare the 10 is.
Right.
It's only sold once ever.
Once ever.
And it was in 2017, I think. And as you can see, they're all die-cut cards. So I know the grades aren't fantastic,
Yeah.
but a 6 back then is like an 8 now.
It is a clean 6, isn't it? It's a very...
Yeah. You have a look at the 8, which is the 10. It's just immaculate.
Was that the one sale, or is that a different version of...
Different version. And I think Eli Manning's market in general is just so undervalued.
Yeah.
He beat the GOAT twice in the Super Bowl. You could say his defense was amazing and he had great weapons on offense, but at the end of the day, he won the game.
Yeah. There's plenty of quarterbacks that have had good players and not got there, haven't they? So you bought them especially to send to the national, or are they...
I think we'll bring them,
Yeah.
but they're more for... I know people debate, should you bring cards to show?
Yeah.
But personally, these are cards I'd more bring to show.
Yeah.
And if a Eli Manning collector comes, maybe sell them.
Yeah.
I think that's a really important point. We genuinely want to get the right cards into the right hands.
Mm-hmm.
That is another thing that at CLA is something absolutely close to our heart, because you can see when you bring somebody a card which they've really wanted, or it is a whale card to them, you can just see what it means to people.
Yeah.
And for us, that's a massive thing. So if somebody turns up and goes, I've been looking for those for 10 years or whatever it is, we probably would sell.
Yeah.
But if it's somebody casually coming up and trying to, want to break you by the representative, ask comp, you'll say, no thanks, we'll rather keep that.
Yeah. It's cool talking about it. I suppose over there as well, it's going to get recognised for what it is.
Yeah.
So they're going to be people with the knowledge and know exactly what it is. You probably still over here the same thing. Are you looking to pick anything up? You got anything in mind?
I remember I was talking to Dad, I would say maybe 3 weeks ago, about it's going to be difficult to buy cards over there.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people in America who buy cards.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to have a different approach to how I think Americans would.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be looking to trade more than buy.
Yeah.
So it's just having the cards to be able to trade for those.
You're almost looking to trade down to stock you could use.
Yeah.
A mix, I would say.
Yeah, depending on the card, I think. We like unusual stuff to bring back to the UK as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been watching American football since late 70s, so that tells you a little bit of how old I am. But for me, the 90s running backs,
Yeah.
are just on a completely different level for me personally, almost more so than a lot of the QBs.
Yeah.
So Bo Jackson, Tony Dorsett, Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, those guys, if we could find unusual cards that you definitely won't find in the UK, I'd probably be snapping them up.
I've got a case full of them sort of cards back there. But I did him.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the sort of stuff that I think that we'd want, but just also buying stuff to bring back to the UK, which people want.
Yeah.
And we have lots of conversations with Craig at Diamondbacks, Craig, around that eye appeal type of card.
Yeah.
Going back to that thing, it doesn't have to be a £3,000 card. It could be a £30 card, but if it's got eye appeal, people will like it.
That's it. I think a lot of it is the look of the card.
Yeah.
And like we said before about the different ones, the ones that stand out, they're always the ones that I think I prefer.
Yeah.
But talking about Craig and things like that, we had him the other week talking about repacks. How is, if you don't mind asking, how does that work in your business? 'Cause we get repackers coming to the shop and love them or hate them. They're a good way to get through inventory, to get cash flow through and things like that. Do you find it's an important part, or is it just a matter of it's just another deal?
I think it's part of the hobby. It is part of the hobby, and I think there's a place for all of those different mechanisms, as long as it's done right.
Yeah,
and people are fundamentally doing the right thing with repacks, which I know that Craig does. I think it's part of the hobby, and that there's, it's also people who are selling £1, £2 singles or whatnot. That to me is part of the hobby.
Yeah,
I'm
not meant as a buyer and a seller. Are you buying for repackers as well as if you can pick a downtown up and sell it pretty quick to a repacker? Is that part of your business as well, or is that just a separate base? If you know what I mean.
I would say no.
Yeah,
it's not our at least it's not our first thought. Maybe second or third, but our first thought is, will we be stuck with this card?
Yeah.
For the next 3 months, and will we be able to get it to a collector?
Yeah. So no, it's a cool. Again, it goes on your approach of that's why if you have the stock there and someone comes up and offer you a good price, you're not going to tear it down for.
Yeah. And openly, we do sell to repackers.
Yeah.
And there's times when we will buy. There will be times when we will buy because we know that there will be the need.
Yeah.
Apart from that, do we intentionally always going out buying high volume for repackers? I'd say probably not.
No.
But fundamentally, we always like picking up good cards and getting them into the hands of whoever wants them fundamentally.
Yeah. No, it's an interesting approach. Everyone, I think, has a different approach. You see people at shows purely buying for repackers. You get some people that I'm never so into a repacker. It's always interesting to see where that sort of line lies. Like I say, Craig comes in here and he'll look through, he'll buy cards for his repacks in here, and same with Pokemon and things like that. So it's just back to this hot topic in a minute as well, isn't it?
It is. I think if it's done properly, I think it's like anything for me. If it's done properly, then it's bold. It
can be a very handy part to go along. Yeah. One thing I forgot to ask.
Go on.
Why do you feel the National is sort of special? Why is that because it's obviously special to go and visit. It must be even more special to vend there.
Openly, we don't know what we're going to. We've never been. This is the first time we're actually going. So
We've only been told.
Yeah, we've only been told, seeing what's online, but it just seems like our type of place. Mm-hmm. It's not only doing the deals at tables, it's everything that goes on around it.
Yeah.
In the evenings, doing trade deals through till midnight, in hotel lobbies, chatting, conversations. That feels to me like it's such a massive part of why the National is special.
Yeah.
And openly, I think in the UK there are shows where that is also a really important part.
Mm.
We stay in the same hotel that we're in down in London. We're in the same hotel, and that first time we vended down at London, I remember Charlie saying on the Saturday night, that's one of the best nights he's ever had. It wasn't at the show. It was actually afterwards, because the community's together. We're having a beer. We're still trading cards, talking crap. But I think that's what we're almost expecting to see at the National, but on just a much bigger scale.
Yeah. From what I remember, it's almost as if Charlie's going to be in his element. He's rather than being one of a few over years, there's so many people running around in the same thing. And I think it's got to be awesome to see him in an environment where it's quite tough over it to buy and sell NFL, especially sort of with it being not quite it's a popular sport, but there's very few collectors. So to put him in an environment where there is the collectors, there's the cards, and just 4 or 5 days of it is going to be insane, isn't it?
He sometimes struggles on like 2 to 3 day shows at London. No, like respectfully. I think I am scared about how your energy levels are going to be.
It's a really good point that Charlie makes. I think what he doesn't realise is I've normally done a Friday, Saturday, Sunday at London after doing a whole week worth of work. I think National hopefully will be a bit better because we're going out for the whole week and it'll be a bit more chilled. So hopefully I'll be a bit rested. But it's nice that my son's looking after me.
Yeah.
And thinking about me.
I'm sure we can get you a mobility scooter to go now.
Yeah, we can. I'm sure we can.
No, it's a long one as well, isn't it? But we found like, it's literally from one thing to another. But you don't want to miss it. Like, it's a year till you get it again.
FOMO.
Yeah, exactly that. So coming back to the UK hobby, how long have you been in it for? Do you remember in the first show was?
First show. So my first show going to was the Sports Card Social. I think.
Yeah, I think March 2023. The Sports Card Social.
Not vending, but going to a show.
How do you find the hobby has changed since then?
It's changed a lot.
Yeah.
I would say the NFL market's skyrocketed. Yeah. There was 0 vendors there with NFL. Maybe 1, but with a little bit there. Yeah. To now where if you go to the Sports Card Social, there's at least 10, maybe 12. And all a very good stock.
Yeah.
All friendly.
Yeah. That's cool to see. And it can be quite competitive, so it's nice to see again the hobby working together with a lot of it. Do you think there's any reason for that, or is that just growth of the hobby in general?
I think it's the growth of the NFL and the hobby combined. Yeah. And you were seeing it at the shows.
Do you keep much of an eye on the rest of the hobby, or is it purely just NFL?
I try and keep somewhat of a tab almost. And it's crazy what's happening with Pokemon right now. Yeah. And fair play to them.
Yeah. It's insane, isn't it? Absolutely insane.
It is, but I think everything goes hand in hand. And I think sports cards side of the hobby has actually, I think, benefited from a lot of the interest around Pokemon and TCG. And I think just getting people there's genuinely people now who collect both sides, let's say. And I think that's an important element. And you know, they'll be collecting certain Pokemon or Star Wars or Marvel or Disney. And then they'll have a football team that they're collecting, and they'll have an NFL team that they're collecting. And I think that's quite a nice way of it working, but it's just even in the last 3 years, and we still feel as though we're quite new to the hobby. Yeah, and we're not that experienced, but it's so nice to see that massive growth over the last 3 years. You look at London XL. I mean, that was bonkers. Yeah, and fair play to Harry and the team for putting that on, because it was crazy. The Friday there, it just blew us away. Yeah, we're getting all the Americans over, and also not only Americans, but getting people from Europe, people from the Far East,
Australia.
Yeah, just people coming up and really liking what they saw, at spending money, and frankly, we did more on the Friday at DXL than we did the previous Sandown to the whole weekend.
It was mental, wasn't it?
Mental.
And I think it's that level of buyer that's coming in. And we had Harry on, which I think will be like 2 weeks before yours. And I think from what he was saying, that was the aim, to get not only the people in the room to fill the venue, but get the good buyers in to make it worthwhile. And I think that's what really shocked us is, like, we had, I think it was NFL Topps Chrome weekend that release, and we put the things out thinking there's like jumbos and things like we're never going to sell them. At the end of the day, one, everything was gone. It was just like, you see that sort of money coming into a room, you know it's going to be a good show. And I think that trickles down then as well. We'll go spend elsewhere and buy more stock in and things like that. And I'm sure you're the same. If you're having a good weekend, you'll go back out and you'll see what there is to replenish, restock, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, we've never been at a show where we were struggling to fill, apart from the first ever sports card sale, where we didn't have that many cards.
It's just funny looking at that photo.
Still funny looking at that photo. We'll dig it out. I think it's on our Instagram feed, but it's like one small case, all the cards spaced out.
There's a lot of space.
12 cards in all, maybe a few flick throughs. We'd never had a show where we're like, we've run out of cards.
Yeah.
We were replenishing them, as you know, from our cases, and we pretty much couldn't fill the cases, which we never had that situation. We always try and keep a lot of stock.
Yeah.
And it was bonkers, wasn't it? In a nice way.
Oh yeah, it's insane. It was, to see all the build up and everything, the uncertainty. Everyone was talking about something different. To see it come in and be that sort of that level is great to see. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where it goes from there as well.
Yeah.
What? So nice. Is there anything that you see currently underrated, overrated in the hobby, especially in your? I felt that.
No. Players or just generally anything?
Sets, players, general.
Sets, so that's getting personal.
Well, I think that's I mean, we could go down a whole Topps Panini thing. We could talk about that 2 hours, you know.
What do you think of Cosmic? I was completely off Cosmic last year. This year, cannot get enough.
I think it's a lovely product. I would say the price is steep, but I would say that there's a lot of cards which are going to go for a lot of money in the future.
Yeah.
So I would say, what the most overrated? Did you say, was that the question?
Let's go set.
Set I did just buy quite a bit of this set, signature class.
Yeah.
I just think it's very overly printed.
Yeah.
I think some cards look very nice, but I think there's so many different SSPs.
Yeah.
And it just feels a bit like a score almost of the new
I can
Topps.
see what you mean. Yeah.
Lots of autos in the product.
Especially when you follow it with something like Chrome Black. And you're coming up with them there. Those are so beautiful.
Lovely cards.
Yeah. What about players? Also got you got it.
Sorry?
Have you got a set that's overrated? Do you actually rip much? I don't think I've ever seen you open a box.
If it's a very good weekend, we'll open a blaster box.
No, more than that.
Maybe a
Maybe a mega.
maybe a mega if we're feeling this.
It's a bit of a treat for us. Normally at a show, if we've had a good week bevies, or somewhere like London where there's a few of us around the table, we'd have bought a box for a couple of boxes, or put it in for a hobby box, for example, shared, and then just sit having a few beers. Well, yeah, water or something, and do that. Openly, we when we were in the US, we bought quite a bit and open stuff, and our luck isn't that great, so we do it as a bit of fun.
Yeah, I think that's how you got to treat opening boxes, isn't it? You know, there's obviously the chasing man. You got to be responsible with that side.
Yeah,
especially when it's your business or you running it as a business. It's got to be something. But what about players? You got any players in the minute where you're completely out on?
Ooh.
I think you said earlier, JJ.
Yeah, well, but I'll let him off because he's already proven he's bad.
There's certain players who are like, oh, what? CJ, for example.
Yep.
it's like I'm almost flipping. I don't know which way to turn. He's clearly been putting a bit of work in over the close season. He's looking quite trim, and maybe realises probably got to put a little bit of more effort in. Possibly be maybe somebody to buy.
I might be causing a bit of a, maybe not a riot, but a bit of controversy of who I say. And it's no offense to who he is. He's a lovely guy. In my opinion, the most overrated player right now is Drake May.
Yeah.
Personally, and it's not because of the Super Bowl. I just think he was hyped up into that MVP caliber because he has a very good fan base.
Yeah.
Who love him a lot.
Mm-hmm. It's almost stretched to get there.
Yes. But obviously he made it to a Super Bowl. Massive achievement. I would say our defense is very, very good.
Yeah. To get there. Do you reckon he's ever going to win a Super Bowl?
I can see it. But I think there's a lot of good QBs and a lot of good teams in this league. And he's going to have to step up.
Are you buying him or are you selling him or are you holding him in a minute? Yeah.
It's a difficult, he's probably the most difficult market right now in the UK, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Or in general.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with Charlie. I think the one thing about it is he's the Patriots QB. They've clearly got a great team. Vrabel's great coach. They're still on the up. If they do win a Super Bowl, his market's still going to stay strong because you never know what might happen, and people then start comparing more and more with Brady. So you just don't know. But it's difficult. But as a player, I'm with Charlie. I think he's a bit overrated.
Personally, he reminds me a bit of a Jalen Hurts. And I know because if you look statistically, if you look how many yards Drake May had in the Super Bowl, what was it, like 120? That's not cutting it.
No.
I know the Seahawks defense is amazing, but
You've got to beat every team to win a Super Bowl, haven't you?
exactly.
Yeah. Mine's Joe Burrow.
Overrated.
Yeah. I think he's always a bridesmaid, never the bride.
That's fair.
I think that's my problem. I get he got to the Super Bowl, but I think he's always going to be playoffs and up. And I think that's when he starts playing well, everyone's on the train. He gets injured, everyone starts falling out of the run. Off they go.
I think the Bengals always put themselves in a hole, and a very hard hole to get out of.
Yeah.
As Steelers fans, we're obviously going to say
Yeah.
Well, if you look, it's always they have to fight to get 9-8, maybe 10 and.
They've always got to go on a winning streak at the end of the season.
Yeah, exactly.
Something.
Normally because of injuries, which is a different story, but there's lots of factors.
Yeah.
I think the Bengals as a whole would be a better team this year. Personally, they got Dexter Lawrence come in. They've signed quite a few Seahawks defensive players, which is a bit ironic. But
yeah, I would die on that hill. Everyone in the shop knows it. I'm like, no.
Joe Burrow.
No. I don't know what it is. Yeah.
I think there's also a lot of hype with how good he was in college still.
Yeah.
Because of how good he was.
Oh, yeah, and I think he shows it in spells. I think that's the worst bit. Like, he can throw a ball as well as anyone. But then 10 minutes later, he's down the floor, he's moaning or crying or... Yeah. Josh Dobbs, bring him back. That was my peak of Vikings fandom.
Pass the note.
Yeah, I've got the hat, I've got the T-shirt, everything.
Can I just stop you for a moment? We're in the middle of doing a fantasy draft.
Yeah.
And
Get Josh
we're on
Dobbs.
the clock. So
Josh Dobbs there?
no.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's still some good players there.
So I'm just going to pass it to him because if I pick it,
No, so yeah.
I'll get told off.
Malik Neighbors is still there.
I'm not playing.
Yeah, I know.
Joint team as well.
Joint team.
Josh Allen's gone. Interesting. Fair play.
Is it a good league?
12 teams and all collectors.
Oh,
I think we go wide receiver.
And I think it's number 44 on the list.
No.
I like you talking in code, but they're going to be seeing it.
Okay, no.
Yeah, that's the other one. Basically, is questionable. Go for it. Tetero Macmillan.
Yeah, good shout.
Third round.
Sorry about that.
No, it's it's got to be done. It's serious, especially when it's collectors, isn't it? You can't.
Yeah.
You can't lose them.
They know who we're up against as well, so they'll probably watch this at some point and realise that we've, picked a future superstar there.
Steve's in the shop is huge on him. He's all in. We're here, Panthers Friday. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think he's actually bought a card from us. Yeah, you'll be.
The Tetero Macmillan patch auto and the McCaffrey patch from back in Panthers days.
This is something which I can't still get my head around. Right. Literally every deal we've done remembers. I just can't. I've forgotten what I was doing yesterday. But yeah,
That's pretty cool though. I imagine it helps you in the business side, but like it as a relationship.
To the extent. It helps when you're checking down which cards you've sold on the spreadsheet.
I can imagine that, but he's just sat there looking at your spreadsheet going, are you sure you're not guessing?
we're trying to.
We're trying to take more photos.
And we're trying to automate things a little bit as well, so that we can. It's so difficult. It's not like, let's say you've got 20 blaster boxes of Topps Chrome, and you've got them on whatever inventory system you've got, and you just press a button, you sold that, and then that's all done and dusted. Every card's different.
Yeah.
So actually putting all of that and monitoring it is, and that's the thing which I think people don't recognise. There's an awful lot of hard work that goes on in the background.
How do you go about organising that then? Is that something that is all on spreadsheet, or
It's just it's the process from when you get the card back from a card show, putting the mag, putting a seal on it, put CLA card sticker on it, and then putting in exactly what the player's name is, what card it is it numbered, is it rookie, then putting what you paid for it, what value it at, the team, what date it was, if you've sold it already or not.
Yeah. And within that, then, do you track prices alongside that? Do you see before you do a big show, will you go through and monitor all your stock, or?
We'll try to as much as we can.
Yeah. It's a pretty good inventory system. What we paid for the card, what the value is, when we bought it.
Yeah.
Obviously, when we sell it, you put a sold date, so we've got full traceability. It allows us to understand which players sell, which players don't sell, how quickly things turn over.
Yeah.
But that takes time. There's quite a bit of effort to get that to work. But for me,
I'd say that's where your experience comes in and your knowledge and that side of it. And I think it is important you see that you always remember the big wins, but when we're at a card show, I can never remember what we bought things for. Like, we know Chris is the one that deals that side, but if he's off for bricks and I'm stood down, I'm like, yeah. So if you ever see him on, we'll take advantage.
We need to go and buy cars with him then.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But yeah, no, it's always interesting. Everyone has their own little different way. And I think it's cool to see. And I think it's something that a lot of people don't talk about either, is that sort of the background. And like you say, you don't see what goes into it. You go on, you see people in 3 weeks' time and they're back up and running.
And one thing which we do, which people maybe listening to this will think, really? Literally, we get cards in, we will check condition, but if the mag is scratched up, that we put it in a new mag.
Has to be
nice and clean. If it's in
it's part of the experience,
and it's of a certain value, we'll put it into a mag.
Yeah.
We'll bag it. With team bags always bought from Third Down. Put a CLA sticker on it. That whole process takes time. We think that's part of what we need to do for the community and the hobby. but we always want to present the cards in the best possible way.
Yeah, that's what it helps with conditions, that you don't want to be getting home and having a look at is a scratch on the mag and outside of it. And
Yeah.
if you got one tip that you would give to a new collector, or even an experienced one that you see it making the mistake time and time again?
Maybe we do one each on that.
Yeah.
It's always about the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
It's never about the transaction. It's a hobby. People will come back to you, or they won't come back to you.
Yeah.
And I think how you treat people, how you engage with them, how you communicate with them, is so important. And always and one thing I've always tried to say to Charlie is always do the right thing. Yep. And I think that for me is, if there's people out there who are thinking about getting into the hobby, that to me is more important than making money.
Yeah.
I would say, for me, is probably buy what you like, what you enjoy, what you have fun with. Because if you're not having fun at the end of the day, what's the point?
Yeah.
It's a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
It's not meant to make you unhappy. It's meant to, if you enjoy something to do, get you out the house.
Yeah.
That's what I'd say.
Yeah. Meeting like-minded people again, that sort of is. And that's what, the way it becomes, it almost consumes you in the lifestyle. I think if you're buying things you enjoy rather than chasing the hype, it's going to make it that much easier to do so. So going on to you, Charlie. What's it like running at such a young age? Because you're one of the first, you always see kids running around there with their parents, but I think you're one of the first teenagers that I've seen come into it and grow into it, if that makes sense. How does it feel to be that? For the first, and how does it feel to be that sort of vendor, that sort of person?
It's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
It's making sure your cards are ready for the show, to handing in assignments for school on a Sunday night before Monday. And it's just ebbs and flows of going to school, doing the same thing every day,
Yeah.
coming back home, sitting down, working on your cards or going to a card show.
Yeah.
And it's exciting. It's something new every time.
Yeah.
So just the contrast.
Yeah. I imagine there's sort of card show blues, and then there's what you have on a Monday, back in school.
It's an exciting time going to a card show.
Yeah. So, I think your dad might have put this question as well. What's the biggest thing you've learned from your dad?
Oh, if you care so much to do it and enjoy it so much, just do it. It doesn't matter. Just do it. Whatever the cost. If you enjoy it that much, just do it.
Same for you the other way. That by Tyler Shook.
Yeah, Tone by Tyler Shook.
That was going to be my one to a new collector.
What have I learnt? I mean, I think for me, I've seen a whole different person, and I've really seen somebody grow up, quite a lot as part of all of this whole process. But I think what I've learned from it is he's clearly loving doing something, and incredibly passionate about it. And what that does is just, it sort of rubs off on me. It makes me want to do more for him as well. I guess maybe just technically, I've just learned so much more about the hobby and what he looks for in cards, and that's sort of hopefully rubbing off on me. He's still criticizing me all the time when I buy the wrong thing in his eyes, but I think that's we sit down and watch YouTube videos together. Yeah, you know, of Card Collector 2 or King of Cards or Third Down, and just talk about the hobby. And I think that's the thing that we probably like more than anything else.
Yeah. I don't know, like, I think my lad's 7 now. And I think when you're a teenager, I don't think you appreciate sort of what your parents do and how they sort of, how much sacrifice and things there is like that into it. And I think from an outside point of view, like I said before, I think it is the dream. So to see, especially 2 people that are so nice and doing it in the right way, it's a really cool thing to see. And I think, yeah, I can see if I went through that experience with my son, I think I'd just absolutely love every minute of it. So it's really cool. And I think that's why one reason why I take you on is because it's one thing that makes you completely different to the rest of the hobby. You see people come in, they're always with their friends and things like that. So to see father, son and do it and escalate like that it's really cool. So yeah, congratulations. It is.
I appreciate that. We really enjoy doing it. I think that's the key thing is whilst there's sometimes some arguments, which there always is, it generally is something we genuinely enjoy doing together.
Yeah.
We also enjoyed doing it with you, Ben.
It's cool. I did see you try to overcharge me on a Jefferson once. We won't talk about it. I'm joking. That I spent all London, like in my head I was debating. I was like,
I don't think we even give you a price. I think we even give you a price yet. And you were just still debating it because you knew where it was going to be around.
yeah. And I was like, and when you said you sold it, I was like, at least I don't have to make that decision. But yeah.
I'm sure there'll be another nice Jeff scene to come eventually.
We'll probably go all the way to Chicago to do a deal with you up.
We're almost certainly we'll definitely do a deal in the National.
Do you have a dream for CLA? I know I asked you before about long term. Do you have a dream for it? Is there an ideal you want?
You asked me a similar question earlier, so I'll let him answer now.
Yeah.
This all started as honestly a hobby that Charlie,
To get this one.
got into, and then we enjoyed going to shows, and then clearly we started buying and selling and trading cards. Where it gets to, I really don't know. I'm getting to the point where I'm thinking about retiring.
I thought you were going to say breaking off a start on your own then.
There's been talks about before.
I don't think I'd be that great at it. I'd love to get into a situation where I almost semi-retire or retire, but I'm then supporting him more.
Yeah.
So wherever it actually takes Charlie, I'd be comfortable with that, whether or not it's the same size as it is today and we still go to card shows and enjoying things in the same way, or it grows to something more. Let's just see how that pans out. I think he's got a wonderful opportunity. He's 17 going on 18. I don't think he's going to go to university. He may do. I don't think that will be the case, but he's got a wonderful opportunity to just enjoy the hobby and see where it goes. Yeah. I don't know.
I think it's the same as that one there. Sort of what you do to go back and be in their shoes.
Yeah.
I think you can travel the world, buy and sell cards, and just, yeah.
I think this is as a parent just speaking just generally, I think there's so much pressure on kids to, do your GCSEs and do A levels and then potentially go to university and then, I think we sort of forget that they're still young people.
Yeah.
And they should just enjoy themselves to a certain extent, and wherever life takes them, as long as they're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is fine, and I don't think we should. I'm certainly not looking too far in the future for him. Whatever happens.
Yeah, I think I'm 36 and I'm still not sure what I do when I leave school. Yeah, but you don't start living until you get that freedom here, and then you start finding what you enjoy, what you don't, and it's good. Quick fire. Favorite third down member. I'm joking at that one too.
What I'm saying is
I'm thinking now.
it's pressure of two people in the room.
Yeah, go for Archie, mate. You're fine. So, favorite card you've ever owned?
This was another conversation we just recently had as well. We would think probably one of, if not the favourite, is probably the Barry Sanders Jameer Gibbs dual auto, because it's almost like his favourite player with one of my favourite players.
Yeah.
We've got a card at home. We didn't bring it actually. Maybe we should have done. Which this goes back to what we were saying earlier on. We bought that card.
I bought it.
Sorry,
I bought it.
no, not. I'm talking about the Woodson.
Oh no.
So we bought that card, for $1 from Burbank, just right at pretty much
The start.
months after Charlie got into cards. It's a
Old.
old score base
Rod was
Woodson. It's a scorecard.
rookie.
Yeah, rookie. It just looks so cool.
Yeah.
We'll never sell that card. I just think it's such a cool looking card. And that goes back to the fact that it doesn't matter how expensive the card is. It's just got a connection, a memory. We were both at Burbank, picked that card up. And I think we'll probably frame it or something like that in the future.
Probably, yeah. No, it's cool. We've got the wall, the same thing. So, look, down there, it's all the cards from shows, or when we've gone and done something, we've pulled something, we stayed that on the wall, and I think it's the base of being a collector, and I think that's the memories of some of it, the nostalgia, that sort of thing. The card you most regret selling.
Oh, hey. I think we're thinking about the same card, aren't we, Dad?
You both had the same reactions. Yeah.
It's a Tom Brady kaboom. I think it's 2021, not the horizontal one. So it's like him and like, you know how he like throws his arms before game in front of the fans, like, and I don't think I understood. I think it was a bit of ignorance from me.
Yeah.
I just didn't understand that how high his market had gone from the last sales, and I sold it quite a bit cheap. And I think, I'm not going to say numbers what I sold it for, but I think the card's about £5,000 or £6,000 right now.
Wish you could get that one back.
Which I wish I could get back.
There's always one. Always one. Biggest bargain you've ever found?
Now I have to think hard for this one.
I think it's that Joe Montana Black Pandora PSA 10 downtown. I think it was not only a bargain at the time, but it was also one of those situations of what we traded for it.
Yeah.
A lot smaller cards, which we got a really good deal on as well. And I think that's, for me, I think if we hadn't
Done that.
I don't think CLA Cards would be where it is today as well. So I think that's another thing as well. It just elevated us and then allowed us to buy. We actually traded it, cash and trade, for 4 or 5 nice cards as well, which also then brought people to the table. It's one of those almost snowball things.
And also, I still remember seeing the guy because he was an American who we did the deal for the Black Pandora, Joe Montana. And I remember seeing him at, was it Chantilly or Fanatics Fest, and just saying thank you to him.
Yeah.
Because he was from San Francisco.
Yeah.
So he probably could have got over comp if he really, really wanted to. Yeah. So it was just out of the kindness of heart, because that was the one I saw. I really liked that card, and he was generous enough to make the deal.
That was cool. Next up, PSA or BGS. Do you grade much?
No.
Or did you just buy in?
So we're probably going to grade our first card ever at the National.
Yeah. What card's that?
Big card.
The $1.
No, it's not. It's not. We've first of all, we're hoping it's real. We picked up a Tom Brady rookie auto in the UK.
Off UK eBay. It's been eBay authenticated, but you never know.
It does. We've done as many checks as we possibly can on it. I think we'll probably grade that card and we'll probably go to Beckett for that.
Yep.
But personally, looks PSA for me. But I would say long term, Beckett.
You reckon? It's an interesting tip. Everyone seems to be just doubling down on PSA at the minute. Even with everything going on, it seems to be so.
I think the fact you can see what Beckett have graded it as.
The
So
supplement
you-
and everything.
So like with PSA, if they graded an 8, you don't know if it actually is an 8 or not, because it varies depending on the grader.
Yeah, I think that's something that does need to get sorted out personally, just from the outside in. That lack of transparency on doing it for PSA is something that they need to improve on.
Yeah, massively. For the scale of it and what the outcome of it is, and a lot of people are banking on, not banking, but they're buying cards that they think are certain things, and for it to come back and there's no reasoning, it could just do with that. Yeah, this is why. And then you know for next time, don't you? Otherwise, you're going to make the same mistake again and again. We've touched on this a few times. What's next with CLA? Where'd you go from the national? In a smaller window?
More international shows.
Yeah.
Anywhere
I
in
think
tissue.
Germany's definitely, we've already booked in for the next Card Madness, which is going to be very good. We've heard lots of good reviews about it. I think Dallas card show's definitely one on the list. But I think more European ones, like maybe a French show, or there's definitely place to explore.
Yeah.
And the hobby's so big, and I think this year, the most out of any year of the hobby, I've seen it grow throughout.
Yeah, I think Charles right. We're definitely 2027, even the back end of 2026. We're going to do more international shows, partly because I think we've got more confidence without doing that, but also the traveling. The two of us, we just really enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think the other thing, which will definitely be coming in 2027, is I think we're probably going to be just getting ourselves a little bit more professional from an online presence point of view. Maybe even looking at a bit of a small rebrand as well. Nothing major, but just to level up. Openly, our logo I made on PowerPoint, you believe, for 30 minutes 2 years ago, and I just think it's great and everybody loves seeing it. And I know when I speak to the third down people, they're sending. Just go over, if you want to sell an NFL, go over to the yellow, the yellow banner, which is great. But I think we can. It's in level. It's just gradual progression activities. So I think that's the anything. Anything else, John?
And I think using the national as a launch pad to start all these new ideas we have.
Yeah.
And I think we're very, very thankful to have the opportunity to go to the national and have a table. So thank you to Luke and the team for working hard.
Yeah, I mean, openly, we wouldn't be going to the national if it wasn't for Luke at Hobbybox. We had a real great conversation with him last year, and he said, "Just come along. We'll get a showcase for you, help us out." And I think that's been, that would be really great. So very grateful.
Yeah, we had Gus on a few days ago, and he's vending as well. Completely opposite approach. I think he's so chilled out. I don't think he still knows what he's doing, but he's his fourth or fifth national, so he's got a bit more experience. So it'd be interesting to see how everyone's different approach going a different way. one last thing, and this is purely for me. I'm banging on the content drum, and I know I keep on asking, when is content coming? When are videos you doing?
That's probably
The biggest.
that's for me part of the leveling up.
Yeah.
Kind of a bit sharper and stuff like that. Openly, I think Charlie said it. You know, he's still got college.
Yeah.
You know, he's still trying to get assignments in and do stuff there. I work full time.
I'm continuing to learn to drive.
Yeah, there's so much stuff that's going on in our lives. We don't do this full time, however much we probably would love to. I think next year, I think we'll start to get a bit more time to do stuff, and I think that's the thing that I think
We need to.
in getting content and spending the time to do it on top of all of the pure card stuff. I think that's the reason why we're probably not doing as much. We're all, the other thing is we do it because we love doing it, and it's organic for us. Yeah. We're not going to push anything. Personally, we try not to use AI when we're putting anything out. I know they're only sort of simple posts to a certain extent, but that's just for us. We just want to make sure that this is real. This is us doing it.
Yeah.
So it will always take a little bit longer, and we just want to do things right. Hopefully people have recognised that whatever we do, we try and do it properly, get it in the hobby, and I think that's the other thing as well. If we do it, we want to do it properly.
Yeah. When you do it, I'll be the first one watching.
Well, I appreciate it.
It's cool to, like I say, I've said it a lot, but it's cool to see people doing it the right way, the proper way. And thank you for coming up and to do it in person as well.
no,
Driving on just right, it was really appreciated.
no, much appreciated. It's great to see you guys.
Yeah. Thank you for jumping on, and we'll have to catch you on the Sunday. If you survive through to the Sunday, we'll probably come over and get you.
You'll probably see my soul leave my body.
He's going to come down, there's going to be your top bus going out. Everything's going wild. Deal will be under the table.
Sleeping, having a little.
Just you going wild. But yeah, no, thank you very much. No, I appreciate it.
Absolute honour.
Catch you next time.